Hello, it is Friday. What is it? The 17th, It's already more than halfway through April in 2026. That just doesn't make any damn sense, quite honestly. Oh, hello. I'm Brent Leary. It is Small Biz Breakdown. I never do this alone. I know it's probably hard for people to believe, but I actually do have friends. Smart friends at that. Friends like Leland from Oregon. Hey, Leland.
I'm so I'm so touched that you
Y'all
consider
choked
me a
up.
friend. Oh
I,
man, I'm
I
so
would give you a tissue, but we're thousands of miles apart. What's the
touched.
good word in Oregon?
It's 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 the same old. Oregon.
Okay.
It's good. Nothing bad happening is I guess you consider good, right? So it's good here. It's good here. I missed last week. Not having to get together. I look forward to these little gatherings that we do.
I do too. I really do too. I like traveling cross country. I like heading out to Oregon and then making a little pit stop in Gary, Indiana, because there is Pierre.
The
The boys.
boys.
There it is.
Hey.
What's the good word in Gary, Indiana?
A little bit chilly today. Got to see Michael, the biop. They did the world premiere here in Gary, Indiana.
Wow.
So
How was it?
it was good. It was well done. It was and they did, I think they did a reasonably smart job in satisfying the fans and then trying to figure out how to tell the Jackson story. It's been so documented so much. I think people have just they found a good way of telling it. So I did appreciate that.
Did they get to the part where Joe pulled out the belt and there's no daddy no? Oh, sorry. That's better move on. All right, I'm looking forward to it. I am definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
When it comes to the big screen in the ATL, I think that's the 24th. I think it's next week. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out then.
Yep.
All right, let's see what's going on a little further east of Gary to that mystical, magical place we like to call Medina, where Madam Mike Drop herself is there, the one and only Even Taylor. We need some applause.
No, it is Medina is magical today, Pierre. We are just having awesome spring weather. It's super warm. They have decided that they're going to mow and do landscaping today in my mom's condo, so that's fun. I hope you can't hear it. I'll be muting myself.
We hear something, but that's okay. We hear you even better, so that's
Excellent.
the main thing. All right, we travel. What's the highway that goes east to west from
80?
Is it 80?
Interstate 80. Yep.
We're hitting Interstate 80. We're going all the way because our friend, the smiling one, Shashi Belamkanda, is literally in the air traveling, coming back from Canva Create. We're going all the way to that capital of the universe. I think or is it the world?
Vacation capital of the multiverse.
The vacation capital of the multiverse. As I see, he doesn't look happy about all this. He is Ramon Ray.
No, I'm not happy because especially, you, Brent, I get it, but Leland knows it's not multiverse. He's just trolling me. I said it very clearly many times. It's like saying the name wrong. It's vacation capital of the world. And you all trolling. I'm 53, bullying and trolling and making fun. What's up, everybody? Good to be here, Brent. Nice to be here. What's up, Leland? What's up here? What's up, even let's get this show started. Glad to be here, you all. Brent, thanks for being a host, and always a fun Friday being able to share small business knowledge with the people. So,
ooh, what a sharing. That's a good tagline. Sharing small business knowledge with the people.
Yes, sir.
That's a great tagline for this show. We're gonna add that.
Please do.
That's almost a mic drop, but I can't say it's a mic drop because I'm not the person who says mic drops happen.
Only even I can get mic drops. I know.
All right. Did we have a mic drop moment a little earlier today when the news came out that the Strait of Hormuz is now apparently wide open, according to some Iranian statement that came out? The stock market went up like 1,000 points, something like that. I think I heard some people. Wait, do I hear a little singing in the air? A little happy. Feels like a good Friday.
This is the happiest, Brent, you've been. Like, usually you're not this jovial. Like, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, until the next statement that comes out of somebody's mouth, and then it takes it all away. But anyway, we'll just go with what we have right now. And as I usually like to do, how you feeling about things? How are you feeling personally and the big picture? Who wants to be the first one to answer?
Pierre's going to go. Pierre wants to go. Pierre, go.
Okay, I was not ready for that, but that's okay. Real quick, it is progress. I think if I had to imagine how this war was going to turn out, it's gone the way that I think it has gone in terms of skirmishes, in terms of blocking the strait. And then now we have this sort of, we have Trump talking about a ceasefire, even though the ceasefire is really with Israel and I believe Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
We still have a little ways to go, I think, but I mean, it's progressing about what I think it would do, at least. So, but it's hopeful. It's good. It's a good hopeful start that we might be getting closer to the end than anything else.
Who do you want to go next, since you were called out?
I'm gonna go with Layla.
Yeah, I agree. It's very good indicator that stuff is happening. And I mean, there were some little bit before. I do know that it was like a couple of days ago I saw that the stock market was the S&P 500 was at an all-time high or something like that. So there were indicators building up, but it is good. And from what I've heard, the Iran government is actually the big thing that Trump wanted was no nuclear weapons. And they've actually agreed they will not pursue nuclear weapons. And that was the big reason why this was all going down. They wanted to make sure that Iran wouldn't enrich uranium to the point where it could become used as a nuclear weapon. And there were indications that that was actually happening. And that's why this all kind of happened. So Iran has said, okay, from fear of not getting bombed anymore and our economic pressures, will not do that, which is the ultimate outcome that we really need. We don't need nukes going around, but hopefully within a month, maybe more, this will be behind us. That fingers crossed. Ivana, we'll save Ramon for best for last.
Save the best for last. I'm going to sort of talk about how I'm feeling from a different perspective. I am feeling that a lot of my audience and my small business owners have really stepped into the uncertainty and have started looking at what can they do with the things they already have, right? So sort of taking advantage, maybe doubling down and learning and implementing some AI things. Not just throwing money at marketing, although marketing spend has gone up. But what I feel that they're doing is really focusing on doing those activities that are going to generate revenue. The most popular, what's working right now, is a direct marketing approach. People want to be with people. And, I always say, whenever technology goes up and seems to remove our connection, people crave connection. That's why live events are so popular. But also the real benefit of direct marketing, such as referrals and even affiliate marketing, those kinds of things, is that you don't pay until the conversion happens. That's a great way to leverage the marketing spend that you have. And I feel that people are kind of stepping into that space. And there's despite what the numbers say, I think those folks who are confident because of the actions they're taking.
Very nice.
I love it.
Best for last.
Guess what?
I'm giving you the mic to drop.
Thank you.
All right.
Drop mic. But my 2 cents, I think really, listen, the economy, the uncertainty is there. We all know this. I do think I'm grateful that it doesn't seem to be the cataclysmic, whatever it was, back in the year, stock market going down, real estate was tanking, all the people losing jobs in mass in the whatever it was 20 years ago. I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about when things dipped. So I think that's number 2. I think 3, do we all wish there was some normalcy regardless of party? Yes. Even Ramon could admit we were a bit tired of the swings and up and downs, and it's a bit exhausting. Tariffs up, tariffs down, all the rulings. So I think that's number 3. But number 4, talking specifically about this community and the small businesses we reach, in this season, the resiliency is still there. The AI is a real thing. People are leveraging it. Those who are leaving the workforce are doing new things. There's opportunities there. And I'm seeing more and more that there's money out there. I was just at the Human X AI conference in San Francisco, and I'm looking around, even the challenges I may have in my small business. I'm like, you know what? This booth cost them $3.2 million. They sent 25 employees here. There's money. It's my opportunity to just get it. So said a mouthful there, but those are a few things that I'm seeing here, Brent.
Hey, can you give us a little bit more of a high level look at that conference? Because I knew a lot of people that went there. I had never actually heard of it before. I don't think it's a very old conference. Tell us what it is and how long it's been around and who is it for, basically.
Yeah, what was interesting about this is that Human X AI conference seemed at the feel that it was not an institutional conference. Number 2, and the reason I say this because Stefan, some of you may know the name, forgot his last name, him and his partner, they produced it, as you said, Brent, 2, 3 so years ago. It's a new conference, and I was able to interview him. He was on the stage introducing it. Kind of reminds you of Evan Goldberg with Oracle NetSuite. The co-founder introduced it. So when I say it wasn't institutional, it didn't have that stuffy feeling like we don't know who's who. It still felt small enough to be family. There was 6,000, 5,000 people there. So enough, a full room of robust people. That's number 2. Number 3, the usual enterprise players were there, but this for sure was a geek fest, meaning most tech conferences that are gone to, I know half the brands. Here, I didn't know half the brands. Brent, you may or Leland, if you're deep in AI, but these are some of the newer companies, right? Because they weren't around 5 years ago. Newer company names that none of us really know. So that was number 3, but it was a good rows and rows of these newer AI first companies, AI for customer service, AI for better LLMs, AI for all the geek stuff. That's number 3. 4, I think the conference did a great job of these small, not that I'll call myself second or third tier, but not New York Times, CNN. That's a given. Not even Business Insider, but us, the influencers. They courted and had, I think, 150, 200 media, bloggers, podcasters there, which you don't see anymore. They weren't paying your flight, but they're like, we'll give you a ticket if you want to come. They gave us media booths. They treated us pretty good, fed us. So that's unusual for your typical event. So I think that was a 4th thing. And from that, what do they get? People like me, imagine 150 people. We're doing the interviews, going around with the little cameras. The sponsors, maybe it's not on CNN, but you have a chance to get Ivana, Ramon, Pierre, putting you on Substack, putting you on their blog. So I guess the 5th thing I'll say, Brent, is just that I won't go deep into the enterprise conversation because I was focused elsewhere, but there was a good enterprise conversation. Some of the usual suspects, the perplexity, this person, that person, the mother, grandmother, something of AI, I forgot her name, Asian, something named Fei Lin or something, who everybody in the
Mei Lin Thing.
Thank you. Maybe everybody seemed to know who she was. People like that, they had on the stage. So clearly it was an event where the founders of the conference were plugged in to the AI digerati because all people on stage were AI ballers. So
Speaking of AI ballers, what a segue. Look who's here, folks.
Come on now.
Looky here. The one and only. I guess they ought to do it right. He's the cold one. Some call him the bold one. I prefer to call him the old one. John Colder Ice Lawson is here.
What's up, John?
Doing the old part is not doing it right. Let's be clear here.
And speaking of AI, Brent, I just want to say, John, and all of you, give John props. John, it's amazing to see.
It is AI prompts is appropriate.
Well, no pun intended. But how his brand is evolving and leveraging the AI enthusiast role he has. Your conference come up in Atlanta, John. So I just think it's amazing how you're honing in, and your brand continues to rise, owning that a niche of the AI market. So kudos to you for how you're all in.
Wait a minute, are you breaking some news? You got a conference coming up?
Well, I appreciate that. No, it's not a conference. It's an intensive.
Okay, so I'm sorry. One more thing, Brent. So I
There's a lot of things
blow
with you,
him
man.
up. I edify John. No, it's not. I mean, just shoplift me. I'm not even here.
I know. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. You know I appreciate it.
You can feel the love. You can feel the love over. The air is thick with love. Don't know. Starting to choke. All right. So I wanted to go to Evena because yesterday me and my CRM Players partner Paul Greenberg held a watch party, our very first keynote watch party for Canva Create. Never really paid a lot of attention to them from a kind of industry perspective, but now you're starting to have to. So we did our watch party. We had several people on with us, and Evena was killing it in the comments section.
Not as much as April, man.
April, the strategic oracle. Yes, the strategic oracle. I gotta meet her because I just love the name that she gave herself. Anyway, I wanted to get Evena's impression on what you heard and saw from that keynote because you did have a lot to say.
I did have a lot to say, and just to give you guys all an idea of what it was, as for the audience for this was clearly like made for me. At first, Brent, I wasn't going to join because I thought it was going to be all this enterprise stuff. I had the time, and I'm like, I'm going to pop in for as long as I can. And I was so glad that I did because it really was a what do they call it? Non-traditional designer audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of small businesses. Maybe if they were enterprise folks, my thought was that maybe they were the communications teams, the marketing, the product teams inside of big enterprises who have to create content and designer things, right? So it's that person, all of us who need to create presentations, who need to create these things. This is just my preference, guys, because I know you loved it, Brent. I know a lot of people loved it, but I'm a cynic. And when things are overproduced and over easy, and I've had so many experiences with this, even with brands that I love and appreciate, with whom we all share things, they show you stuff up on the screen. It looks amazing. I'm jazzed. I go home. I try to do it. It is not that pretty. It just is not, right? Because there are a few assumptions you got to make, right? So let me get to the good stuff. They did introduce a few things that I think were really helpful. It's clear that they want to improve productivity, and they are doing that thing that every platform does for small businesses. And this sends me, John, you know what I'm talking about.
He really doesn't, but go ahead.
Canva does. So Canva started out as a design tool. Adobe Express started out as a design tool. And that was fantastic. And they own that space, right? And then they start adding things. And this is what they've done. This is what they announced at this conference with a very creative name of Canva.ai 2.0, which is what we've been missing.
Awful.
But what was the name again? I was writing it down. I forgot. Canva. What was it again? Let me just say it slowly.
Canva AI 2.0.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Okay, got it.
Right. So you only need to remember Canva. But I'm going to start with a thing that they said their audience wanted, which was that you can now design offline, which
I got the biggest applause, didn't it?
It did. I thought it was great. A lot of the folks were excited about the education piece. I was not that excited about the education piece, but our friend April Oracle was actually homeschooling.
Yeah.
So there you got a user that says it's exciting. That is good enough for me, right? They are integrating with email. So now you're going to be able to send your campaigns. I worry about that because anyone knows that when a tool starts out as one thing and they start expanding and adding additional features, those features are not always as good as the best in class. Nod your head, Pierre. You know what I'm talking about, right? It sounds good, but then when you get to do it, unless it's like really cursory or like unless you fit inside their capabilities, you might be disappointed, right? What was the other thing that stood out to me? I was really excited about. They did something with Canva print. I like Canva print. I really do. And they had that merchandising thing. But again, I got excited because I thought it was going to be like Printify. Like, ooh, can you design it on Canva and then send it over to this thing and have it integrated with your e-commerce store? No.
They had what they call them, print shops.
Print shops or something. Yeah. And then April said, hey, that's like real expensive, right?
Yep.
And the other thing that they did was this AI design. I have not had the chance to try it because my account doesn't have it yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. Now they got their own AI, they got their own little AI hookup, just like what Leland is always talking about. The tool has the AI in it. You can use the prompt. It's going to make designs. I don't know, people. I am old. I am grizzled. Been there, done that. I'll be shocked if it works. Because honestly, even their resize does not work the way I think it should work. All it does is resize the thing. And now you got to move all your stuff everywhere. This is like not helpful, right? So lots of promises, lots of show. When you've got an orchestra to do stuff, it was so much show that my grizzled old marketing brain says, why is there so much show? Could it be because what you're telling me is like not that great?
Or it could be they had 6,000 people in the room. They knew they had to have some form of entertainment component to go along with all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was at that, like, that does nothing for me because I want to see the tool. I want to see it work, show me the meat. And the last thing I'm going to say is we all on this panel had that. Who remembers the conversation about Canva and how they raised their prices, remember? And then they had to walk that back. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
My theory is that this is what they're going to do so that they can raise those prices again. And this time you're not going to walk it back, right? But my concern is, and I love Canva. I use Canva. It's a great tool. My concern is that it's going to sort of get overly complicated. So my friend Ramon has worked with, oh my God, now AI, Beautiful AI. I worked with Beautiful AI when they first launched. It was in 2018 because I had that interview the day after my dad died, which is like crazy. So I remember. And the core tenet of that tool was that you could not make an ugly slide. It was impossible. It had limited functionality for a reason. That was a beautiful thing.
Yep.
And it no longer does that. Now you can make ugly slides all day long. Sometimes your audience and your customer is not right. Another tool that did that, I talked about Adobe Express. I loved Adobe Express because you could type text into a text box and it would automatically format it in a beautiful thing. I was able to do YouTube thumbnails for days without thinking. In Canva, it doesn't automatically make it nice. And guess what Adobe Express did? They took those kinds of stupid proof features away. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm concerned. I mean, I think I'm going to pay more and have it be more complicated.
Wow. Okay.
That was a mouthful.
That was a mouthful.
Sorry, I know that was too much. I'll be quiet now.
I'll just say for what I saw, I was looking to see if they were going to start talking enterprisey. That didn't happen at all. So I agree with Ivana in the sense that they seem to be focusing on not the top tier, like professional designer types. They seem to be focusing on people who need to do things to make things look nice, but they're not worried about having it be the nicest, so these designer next door kind of folks. And I would even say, branching out from that, more of the content creator who's not focused on design, but knows they need to do certain things as part of their content creation. And they're putting pieces around it so that these guys can do even more of the things that they need to do. And they usually have 8 different apps to do it. try to let them to be able to do it more of those 8 different things, all from within Canva. So that's how they seem to be approaching it. I will say this about the pricing, even a thing. Even they didn't mention anything about pricing, so that is a dead giveaway right there. When they don't mention it at all they do is talk about all the great stuff that's coming. They don't mention what it's going to cost you. You better put a hand on your wallet, because that's where they're going for you. When you go to a conference and they say they name a whole bunch of stuff they're doing, it is impressive. They didn't talk about the price. That's where you have to really focus on what is all this good stuff going to cost you.
Do you think that they're going to do the big jump, or do you think they're going to kind of do the little incremental steps when it comes to that? You know, like the Netflix and price increase type.
Well, they tried the big jump before, right? Like, I think they're going to try it again. I think I'm aligned with Ivana here. They tried it before. They didn't give you a really good reason to do it. It was just, I'm going to be paying double for the same thing. Oh, hell no. This time they're giving you reasons that at least they think you're going to need to do it. We'll see. I don't know.
I wasn't that impressed, but it was okay.
Well, tell us. Give us your overall. What were the things that didn't impress you? Why weren't you impressed?
First things first. For those of you that are interested in a sneak peek, they gave a code out for the first 1 million people. So
was this before the event?
It's only to influencers and stuff like that.
Okay. And you found out about it how? Just kidding.
Anyway, so if you go into Canva right now, and I think it's still active, like I said, it's only for the first million, but you put in activate superpowers, 2 words, activate superpowers into what will you design today, and it should turn it on. So you get a sneak peek of all the announcements they made. So that's a freebie knowledge for you guys. I don't know if it's still active. I spread it around a lot yesterday, but
no, you spread it around all the time. But that's
right. Exactly.
So, did you see anything about pricing or how much it's going to cost you for all this new?
No, I honestly, I don't feel, here's the deal. We've talked about the baseline being AI, right? And what they ended up doing is they've actually got 2 different platforms running. They've got Canva AI and regular Canva. I was hoping that with this new version, they would merge the 2, which they didn't. So they just called it Canva 2.0, right? Or AI 2.0.
Yeah.
And what they really introduced were just upgrades that kind of were available already on large language models. And that was one thing. And then the other thing that they did was they turned on tool access, which again was available on large language models. So the deal is, you got to do things in one platform and then have them connective for the other platform. So if I create something with Canva AI, then we want to have a smooth transition so that when I try to edit it in Canva, it works. And so that's what they did. I think this is a half-baked, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that I think ultimately Canva is going to be just Canva, and AI is going to be an underlaying layer that regular Canva can run on without having the separation of the 2.
That's what everybody is supposed to be doing, is putting AI at a foundational across all the stuff that they are already doing. So you're right about that. They're like everybody else. They're trying to get to that one platform where AI is baked in, and everything that the previous platform did now just gets AI-ified, for lack of a better way of putting it.
When they do that, I think they will raise the price.
Well, they're probably going to try raising the price even before they do all that. Like everybody else. I don't mean to call them out specifically. Everybody is trying to do just that, and everybody is trying to do another thing they're trying to do. And I kind of mentioned it. They want you to do as much stuff on their platform without having to go to all these other places to do all the other things. That's why they do want you to use, let's say, ChatGPT functionality from their user interface, because that keeps you locked in with them. Everybody else is trying to do the same thing. Their trick is, and I think it's everybody's trick is, what are you going to try to charge people to do that? I think they're all trying to figure out, how can we make even more money off these suckers if we can tell them they can do this, and this right from here? How much is it worth to these people? That's what everybody's trying to figure out. None of them have done it yet, but everybody's trying to figure that one out.
And I think, Brent, then that's just business and fairness. I mean, don't we all do that as a speaker? I mean, hey, Ramon, could you come and speak? And I'm waiting. I'm sat like a little puppy, hoping they say, we only have $50,000 to pay you. God bless America. It's like, I'm like, what's your budget? You know how we do. What's your budget? Well, the last speaker, we gave a tuna fish sandwich and $500. So to your point with Canva, you're right. And I think they're going to find out but I do think the incremental up, I think that's the way to go. Netflix, I got their little email. I didn't even read it. Hey, Ramon, we know you pay, what is it, $19, $9, whatever it's a month. Just so you know, we raised it by $2. I'm sure there's some mother or father in Appalachia, America, or wherever Leland lives, where, they get raccoons off the ground or something.
Damn, Leland. That
said, $2? Oh, no, we're marching. But most people, it don't matter. So I think if Canva just does the incremental every year, take it up by $1 or $2, for good or for bad, people like me, probably most of us here, it's a tool we use. It works well. Now, if I could take a side note, Brent, tell us if you want to stay here. I'm curious about Adobe. I saw a headline from Adobe in LinkedIn News that they made something new, or something they did with Firefly or whatever. I saw it through LinkedIn News, and I was like, that's the company I wonder that needs to work.
Ooh, all right. Before I want to address that, but before I do, I feel I need to give the mic to Leland to defend Oregon a little bit as to the way that it was characterized by Ramon Ray.
We do have a law in place to where if you hit something with your car, you could keep it.
Brent,
it's dinner. It's dinner.
I tell you, Brent, I was right, Brent.
Hey man, I hear varmints can be really tasty if they're cooked properly. I'm just kidding. I've never had a varmint in my life. Anyway,
mainly deer. That's what it's used for. So you hit a deer, just put it in the back of your truck.
Just say, "Oh dear," right? Anyway, moving right on. All right, let's go to Adobe, because quite honestly, as we were sitting there talking about Canva and seeing all the stuff that they're doing, the thought in my mind, and apparently it was in some other people's mind, is Adobe Summit. Their keynote is Monday, and quite frankly, I think, I'm pretty sure about this. I think it might be the most important keynote one-day event kind of thing in the history of Adobe at this point, because these folks are fading fast. Their stock price has been in the skids for 2 years. They haven't figured out how to price their AI in a way that makes customers happy. They have companies like Canva out there to try to take their business. Their CEO announced that he's leaving. This dude was there for like 12 years. He was the one that sheltered them through the subscription era. Remember how rough it was to get people to stop paying, for one
download
thing and not have to worry about paying anymore to subscriptions? He got them through that. And here we are in the dawn of the AI era. This is the biggest disruptive thing that's happened in technology, and he's bailing. What is going to be said at that event? That's what I'm interested in.
My bet, Brent, and we can talk about it next Friday, whenever it is. My bet, y'all can hold me to it. There's nothing they can say. And I'm not an industry insider quite like you are, Brent, or Shashi when he's here. But my 2 cents on that, I just don't think there's anything. Just the marketer within me, it's like AI is here stealing the air out of the room. The AI is never good. We're all, Grok and all the tools and all. It's a given. Canva's the hot ticket that gave Adobe, in my read of it, their angst already. And Canva's already feeling it. So Adobe, I think they're word perfect. There's going to be a few people probably in some place in America, probably Appalachia, wherever Leland lives, and they get raccoons on the side of the road, probably somewhere like that uses Adobe software. Beyond that, Nobody else is going to use it.
Did you just
I
call them word perfect?
Yeah.
Yeah, I smiled when he said that. That was cool.
Ooh,
I have a question for you guys,
Ooh.
especially you, Brent.
sure.
Right? Because while Canva's audience is sort of, let's call it the non-designer, not designers that play designer, like I play a designer online sometimes, right?
I try to pretend I'm Leland and a coder, and I can never match Leland.
Yeah, right. But for the non-designer, right? The DIY marketer, I love Canva. But what about Adobe? Adobe, I have purchased like Premiere, and that was only when I was doing fancy video stuff that I had to teach myself, and it was so hard, and I really struggled. Now I know you're an Adobe user. Aren't they speaking to a different audience?
Well, in particular, Adobe Summit is definitely speaking to a different audience because they're speaking to more of the professional marketers. Adobe Max is for the creative folks. That's a different conference.
Oh, okay, got
That was a legacy conference before Adobe bought. I forget what's the name of the company they bought.
Well, no.
macro.
No, it was it was like this designing community that ran this event. I can't remember but anyway. So Adobe Summit is always an event that was aimed at like the enterprise marketing community because they talk about campaigns, marketing automation campaigns, analytics, like stuff that creative people get hives out when they start talking about it.
So why are you pessimistic, Ramon? Like I guess I'm saying is these people have an audience, and that's an audience with money.
I'm just saying like that's why I said word perfect. And again, correct me, I'm just spitballing here, but I think every company has their inbound number of fans, people who are not leaving them for whatever, right? Gasoline cars, whatever. We don't have an electric vehicle, whatever. I get it. But I think as you have new people, take a look at my sister. She's 30-something, 35, 40-something years old, works at a nonprofit agency. She's that customer, like, she's not a fan of Adobe, like she hasn't legacy used it. She knows Canva because it's easy to use. If her agency that she hired and retained is not available, she knows AI. So I guess that's what I meant. Like for the next 10 years, who's rushing to use Adobe? What new startup is saying, we got to get 25 Adobe licenses?
That last part of the startups, people that have been around for a while, that have grown up using these tools, that have really sunk a lot of investment of their own time and expertise, they're not going to jump unless there's a very substantial reason to jump. Now there might be that because this AI components are making creativity easier to do for most people, and it should be lowering the costs for most people. And so that makes it kind of iffy for Adobe because they already have customers that are paying a lot of money for this. And it's not just Adobe, it's enterprise applications, software as a service applications in general. A lot. If you look at all their stock prices, I believe me, I've been looking at these suckers for a while. HubSpot, Salesforce, Adobe, even the one that they were trying to buy a while back. I can't even think of the Figma. All ServiceNow, all Microsoft, probably the biggest one of all, Oracle. All these companies are enterprise application software companies, and all of them have been tanking because the fear of what is agentic AI going to do to these? Are people going to start just vibe coding ERP system? So SAP might be going on. Of course, the answer is no, but the financial analysts are making it sound like that's a possibility. And so all these big, substantial companies that have been around forever, people are wondering, are they going to be around next year because of the AI? So as soon as that gets answered, and it'll be answered, and nobody's going to trust a kid in the basement vibe coding an enterprise software application. They're going to buy that. That's one of the big issues. But Adobe also is, everybody thinks of as a creative company, and everybody looks at AI as being very specifically great for creativity. So why do we need to pay these when we got companies like a Canva or even some that are barely known, but they do something really great? Why are we going to continue to pay Adobe when we can try these things out? That's what I want to hear, how they respond or how they answer those kind of questions next Monday.
But Brent, you go ahead, Even.
I just want to mention something real quick. Let's go in the Wayback Machine, right? Because like this, I'm talking like 2000, like I launched DIY Marketers when all of this stuff was happening, when we were getting software doing all kinds of things that you used to have to hire agencies to do. One specific area that I'm very familiar with is online surveys, right? There was SurveyMonkey and there were lots of different, there was Zoomerang, there was whatever, but there was a company called Qualtrics, right?
Yep.
And Qualtrics is enterprise, right?
SAP bought them for $8 billion back in the day.
And my friend Vivek Bhaskaran, who runs Question Pro, he built Question Pro in his garage, quite literally. I was like customer like 500 or something. And the conversation that he was dealing with at the time and was that all he was concerned, and all of these other market research agencies were concerned, because you could do surveys, right? But as we all know, there is an expertise to doing surveys. You can do surveys, you can create a survey, but if you're stupid, you're going to get bad numbers. Likewise, yes, Canva's great at designing, but there is an element to professional design that those of us who are not designers and not trained cannot know. It has to do with spacing. It has to do with contrast. There's like many, many, many rules that we don't know. Today, Question Pro is an enterprise company with a little bit of small business. Qualtrics is like above that. All those other brands are like kind of gone. We still have SurveyMonkey, but a lot of the other ones have consolidated, right? And there is still a need, the need for good data, for regression analysis, for max diff, for conjoint analysis. These are highly technical things. If you don't have the background to know how to do that, you're going to be making bad decisions. So my point is, I think the same, it's almost like similar to this Adobe thing, right? There is going to be an audience, and you know, Qualtrics costs $10,000, $50,000, like million, can cost millions of dollars a year for these licenses because they have PhD statisticians using that information. So that's what I think is going to happen. There's just going to be, dare I use that word, bifurcation. I hate that word.
No, even that is the right word, bifurcation, because I guess
right?
we've learned from Zoho, public companies have to go billion, growth, always, right? So I guess, you know, way above, not my pay grade, but it's a whole other element that I just know cursorily, you know, the surface. But that's all I meant by Adobe. It's not like they can say, hey, you know what? Market's tanking. We're going to make trillions of dollars still with me and my dude in the garage. They got to be a big company still. And I just don't see that market. Because again, like I already said, so hence you're right. Like you mentioned those fancy survey terms, you probably just made them
exactly. There's a market for that.
Yeah, there's a market for that, but it's not. But they're no longer, you know, the building across the street, the Mexican restaurant I went to. Those people are not looking, Señor, let's download Adobe Beneca. No, they're not doing that.
They're not doing that.
And I don't think that they would have done that 5 years ago either. You know, there's a market for certain items, and excuse me, Adobe did try to get into that with Adobe Express. That was supposed to be the small business solution. Right. But they're going up against Canva. They're going up against even free tools that are on the internet. I use Photopea and it's basically like a stripped down version of Photoshop. That's what I use, even though I have access to Photoshop. I want to download Photoshop and use that for simple resizing of images and putting text on it or something like that. Very simple things. But there is going to be a market always for Photoshop, because really what Photoshop or Adobe brings, there's not another company out there that does exactly what Photoshop does. There's a lot of separate companies. You know, there's a really good video editing company. There's a really good, you know, you could get Corel Paint or something like that as an alternative.
First word perfect, and now Corel. Jeez.
But Leland, do you see them as the viable brand, as the brand we know in the money, whatever it is, you know, all the Wall Street stuff in 5 years?
I don't see them as a Wall Street kind of juggernaut. I see them probably slipping into like a Cisco kind of vibe, where Cisco was that one company that was always going up and up, and then the 2008 recession hit, and now they're even keel. They're not going up, they're not going down. I could see them kind of just leveling off and just kind of existing out there and not, you know, exploding. Because I went to the Adobe Max conference, and there is almost cult-like following
Yes.
when it comes to their products. And even when they're introducing AI, you would think that these people who are in the design industry would be like, boo AI. They were going nuts when they're like, oh, hey, yeah, we have AI integrated into all of our tools. All you have to do is into the prompt, and then bam, your video has like a sea of flowers in it or something like that. You know, they were going nuts because that makes their job easier, which means they can take on more clients, which means they can make more money potentially.
By the way, that
So-
I was trying to remember, it was Behance.
Oh,
Those were rabid developed community of designers that were already using Adobe products, and then Adobe bought Behance and they inherited Adobe Max. And so that's why they have this big event on Monday that's focused more at the enterprise, and Adobe Max that is really focused at those individual creator types. They have not found a way to bring those two worlds together yet. And the one thing that is and it's not just them, I kind of keep saying this, and even going back to Canva, monetizing their AI investments. None of these companies outside of like Facebook of all people, and I'm not talking about the chip and the picks and shovel. I'm talking about the actual companies, vendors, technology vendors that are investing in this stuff in hopes of making a lot of money. They haven't been able to show that their investments are paying off in ROI. That's why the financial analyst community has been dogging these companies. And now that they see, well, are they ever going to make any money from all this AI stuff? Are these little small companies are going to come along and eat their lunch, and all that they invested in is just going to be lost? That's why they're all in flux. That's why Monday is a big day for Adobe. I can't wait to see what they have to say and how they address all that.
When it comes to Adobe and their AI, though, they are actually kind of monetizing it. Adobe Firefly is a separate thing that you have to subscribe to. You get a certain number of credits, and then when you are in Adobe Photoshop or the video editing, Final Cut or
Adobe Premiere,
Premiere, you are using Firefly to be able to do these AI enhancements. Some of them, I think there are some that don't cost credits. There are some that do cost credits.
But there's the problem, Leland. They cost money to use.
That's because doing this stuff is still too expensive,
and they haven't gotten out. That's why you're seeing companies like Microsoft make these huge energy deals, which I think it's Chevron for like $7 billion, because they're trying to put a fixed cost on what they're paying for their energy consumption. Because right now, the more you use this stuff, the more energy, the more you're going to pay. And companies, these big companies are like, look, if we're going to pay X amount of billion, I want to make sure that's all we're having to pay. And so there's a lot of unknowns still with all this stuff, and it's costing companies like Adobe, I think, customer opportunities, because look, I don't want to pay extra money. If I'm already paying for Creative Studio, why should I have to pay an additional subscription to use your AI? There's not been a very good answer to that question yet.
And let me just add
Well,
go ahead, John. Please, John.
No, I'm saying that's exactly why, OpenAI got rid of Sora. I mean, it was extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These tools right now are very expensive. Do people want to pay for them? Probably not. But
I think people would be willing
to something.
Go ahead.
And it's going to be,
I think
controversial. But the reason why AI is not, quote, paying off is because they haven't got rid of the head counts yet. As soon as that starts happening, you're going to see it pay off. Watch.
I believe, and to the point of head counts, I think that I just did a quick search on. I just went to this. If you don't know, you can type a search in your search bar, and Google has AI come up automatically. I know y'all didn't know that, but I did that, and it says here that Firefly 75% of the Fortune 500 companies. Point I'm trying to make, to our point that we talked earlier, even maybe what you mentioned, Leland. I guess my point was, large companies, right? Fortune 500, they have the institutional licenses. They're not going to let 5,000, 50,000 people download stuff all. So maybe, Leland, to your point, Adobe may have some future in that for the foreseeable with the legacy large company, Fortune 500, of which is only 500. But I guess I was moving to all the other, the nimble startup, the guy or gal who's starting his own credit card, all that market share, I guess I meant, is that they're clearly no longer, they are the word perfect of it. So I just want to repeat that. That's kind of where
what happened. Let me ask you this question. What happens when, you know, Johnny Basement can make the same kind of quality content that these enterprise level?
I'll tell you what'll happen.
Well, he can. He can already. He can. That's already here.
Yeah,
It's a little bit, but not total.
They're not gonna, big companies that have billions of dollars in revenue every quarter at stake. When they buy something, they want the right to sue the hell out of that person. They want to have the right, if something goes wrong, it's their fault. Johnny in the Basement don't have billions of dollars.
That's not what I'm asking you.
And
that's the
point before. Let me clarify.
The risk is
okay. So, because I would just want to clarify.
Sure.
Because I think that is definitely a point. What I'm asking is that when I literally have enough bandwidth and enough tokens to make a Hollywood movie, what is going to keep Hollywood type movie a thing? So same thing.
Well, you're already seeing. I think you're already seeing that on YouTube. I think you're seeing that on YouTube. You're seeing individuals like Marcus Brownlee, a one-man teenager, now has 20 million people subscribed to him on YouTube, making millions of dollars. It's the same principle,
like I'm saying, Marcus is not. You can't point to Marcus and say everybody. Marcus is not.
It's never going to be everybody, though. It's never going to be everybody.
But still, listen to what I'm saying. Okay,
this is the third time
you do Marcus tomorrow by putting in a prompt, then that would be equivalent.
You know,
can't do that.
When everybody can do something, then that devalues it.
Listen to what I'm asking you, and then answer what I'm asking.
Brent,
we'll do it later.
No, John,
John. I'm muting myself before I give you the right answer.
John, I know you're probably wrong, whatever you're going to say, but I want to hear the point. Go ahead.
Yes.
So my point is all the things that a professional designer can actually get out of a professional tool like Adobe. What happens when a guy with a prompt can do the exact same thing? How do you justify the paid for tool anymore?
I think, John, you're missing the point. If I may, I'm just saying, John, I think it's Brent's point. This is not a tool to tool issue. This is a risk to risk issue, in fairness. So meaning that's why Brent thought you were going the Hollywood movie type. That's an issue because I want to watch my Jason Bourne. I would pay to have Jason Bourne, a new movie, every week. I'd pay $100 a month. Literally, that's how much I like the Bourne series. So if there's a guy or gal who can do that, you know, give me Jack Bauer, Jason Bourne, that whole genre of movie, vote very good quality. I'm addicted. I'll watch it all day, and I will pay a premium all day. I want to see that, you know, that whole type of movie. So that's separate. But my point being, Brent had a point. It's not about making be able to do it and all this. My small business, I can't do what a whole agency can do to create Chase's new diversity program.
But I'm saying you're going to be able to. What happens then?
Yeah, but I don't, John, because you can do, there's still the risk, the scale, if something goes wrong. There's a minor set of people who are going to be doing this Claude, Mac Mini nonsense that you and Leland and probably Pierre are doing. Most normal people, it's I don't even know what to tell you, John. I just
so I just a couple of days ago bought a new computer off of the marketplace for $900. It was a $1,400 computer, $900, and I did it because there's a graphics card in it that'll allow me to generate images at the quality of what I could get currently. What I'm purchasing, it's not Nano Banana, but it's like a few years old, from Google Images, Google Gemini Images. And with that, I'm going to be able to do 1,300 images roughly a day, which would cost me normally $30 a day. So I'm already kind of doing that, and I want to mess with it. I want to actually see if I can make like full story plots, making images, and just kind of making automatic videos, not to the point where I'm at the computer doing it, but I have basically a script that will just generate random stories generate the images for the stories, and then cycle through those images. It's not a full movie, but it's a new story, and it's one step.
But
And
Leland, Leland, I'm sorry, Lard, but Leland, this is what Brent said, and this is where now you're with John Bandwidth, so you're also now my enemy now. It's this, Leland, here's what I'm saying. This is what John said, this Marcus Brownlee, whatever. Yes, you're right. You, Marcus, all you geek freaks, y'all can do it. Seriously, you all can do this. But enterprise to enterprise, Leland, I just don't see in the near future. You individually competing with Netflix requires still a bigger infrastructure of processing and all this. And I get it, John. It's coming soon. But Leland on his own, I don't even know how to say it. I am so frustrated with you all.
But what happens when all of a sudden it becomes a, $200 a month plan that you can all of a sudden start making your own shows with its own voice acting, music.
I don't want to make my own shows, Leland. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to get you all to see. Am I right? Even there's two.
It's about the future.
5% are you all?
No, but see, all I'm gonna do, you're gonna pay me.
Right. Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're gonna pay me.
Correct.
I'm gonna make my own shows, and you're gonna pay me for it because you'll be
Yeah.
like, dude.
And
that's
then
a
what
good
happens
show.
to Hollywood
'Cause it
after
doesn't
that?
matter where it came from. If you like it, you like it.
Correct. That is correct.
There was, and this was like a year ago, there was a company out there and they were able to make their own South Park episodes, with prompts and scripts and everything like that, voice acting. And how long until that's all of a sudden commercially available? And then and it's not South Park, but it's, cartoons, or, they're getting realistic. Hollywood may have its number within the next couple of decades.
Yeah, Hollywood is not going to look the same as it did 50 years ago. But guess what? Everything that we've been talking about is already kind of playing out on a different level. Everybody was like big on the Mr. Beast, right? He's getting like 200 million views for videos and all that stuff. There's somebody put out a YouTube video recently that says it's starting to come to an end. And I don't know if it's coming to an end just because now he's only getting 30 million views as opposed to his heyday of 200 million views. But what's happened is the platforms are always the winners. It's not the individual creator. It's the platform. The reason that he got big is because the platform needed something to get big. It needed somebody to. Now, when you look at the aggregate of the views, you don't need one person anymore. You can spread it out. And guess what? The platforms can pay less to more people,
Which Brent,
as opposed to having to pay this one dude an extremely large amount of money. They don't need that anymore.
It goes back to traditional marketing, Brent, to our point of then, as that happens, now you have the next Netflix company that has to hire people, do traditional marketing, does billboards, does advertising, and the cycle continues. That's why I say it'll always be the small percent of the Lelands and Johns getting your little Mac Minis, doing your little stuff. I got it. But after, as it grows, it's going to be then a bigger company, enterprise to enterprise. That's
Man, I hate to leave Ramon because we're simpatico right here, but
yes.
I am actually waiting to buy one of those new Mac.
Yeah,
but I'm just tinkering. I'm not thinking I'm going to take over the world, but I am really interested in getting a machine right next to me where I can load up all these different models and run them locally and not get charged per API call or for how many tokens. I can have it all here. So yeah, it might cost me $5,000 up front, but then I know I'm not have to pay anybody else, at least for a couple of years, any more money. That's something that I am interested in. But we'll see. Only a few people are going to.
Well, I'm not. I tried that and did the whole.
You don't need a Mac Mini. You can get a Windows. You can load up a Llama.
I'm not getting any Windows whatsoever. No thanks to Windows.
Linux. You could go Linux on that. There's plenty of free open source LLMs that are actually not as good as the big companies, but they do a decent job.
I think the overall point is the technology enables people, way more people, to do anything that they could have done before because they didn't have the skills or they just didn't have the know-how. They knew they had to get things done. They didn't know how to do it. Some of this technology is now enabling a wider group of people to do that. And what happens is when more people are able to do more things, that's going to lower the overall cost for some people that were the only ones that had the skill set to do it back in the day. And who wins? It's always the big guys. It's always the Microsofts. It's the Facebook. It's the Google, because they have us playing on their home field. So they have all the algorithms to take 200 million views from Mr. Beast and spread that across 100 million people. And guess what? They only have to pay that 100 million people a fraction of what they were paying the one guy. That's what's going to keep everybody kind of in this state.
They don't pay Mr. Beast more than they pay, Johnny anybody. I mean, there's not a whole lot.
A little more.
They pay him more.
He can.
No, they don't. He gets the exact same amount in
John.
Advertisers are going to go after him specifically, and they're going to pay higher rates, because I want to be on Mr. Beast. I'm going to pay a little bit more.
And John, the platforms know the Mr. Beast.
Wait, are you saying that YouTube pays out more for Mr. Beast views than they pay for Brent Leary views? No, it's the same amount of money.
I'm saying Mr. Beast,
you reach a certain threshold,
level people at YouTube in these places. That's all. Especially in the day, they do segment their programs and they know who's who. That's all I'm trying to say.
They definitely know that. Okay. But I mean,
why do they make a big deal out of somebody who has 100,000 subscribers versus somebody who has 100 if they aren't doing something special for those people that get 100,000?
They'll give you an award.
No, they're giving you more than that, or else why make a big deal out of it?
You need to prove it. You need to bring some receipts, sir.
Well, that's FOMO, Brent. They're doing that because that's FOMO. They want to stoke it.
There would be no reason to take down Mr. Beast's 200 million a month or a video views.
See,
unless there's some kind of reason.
Because you don't follow him, you just be listening.
I don't give a damn about him, but I'm saying.
I mean, you just be listening.
I really don't care about him.
You be listening to haters.
I'm not even listening to haters. It's just like these platforms are.
I'm just saying, Mr. Beast has moved on. He doesn't do as much stuff as he used to do.
I'm with John. John, I like you. I'm with you, John.
Yeah, I mean, you might get a video from him every 2 weeks now, where he used to do these 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, he's doing other things.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is the platform has the ability, because they use their algorithms to determine what's the most profitable money I can make based on who is on the platform creating and viewing.
But that's agnostic of who it is, Brent. That's an algorithm. That's
but what I'm saying is, and so they know who has how many subscribers, how many million subscribers, and I'm hearing all these stories of folks that have YouTube channels saying, "Man, I used to get so many more views from all the subscribers I had. I don't know why. I know why.
Because of AI and all the crap that's
because
out here.
The platform owners say, guess what? I can optimize my profit by moving the views that were coming from here. I can put these new creators in front of them and get them to do the views.
Oh my God.
I am absolutely not wrong on that one. These platforms know exactly where to send the traffic to optimize the profitability. If they got 5 people, let's say Mr. Beast was great at and is great at doing this kind of content, this style, guess what? There's so many people are like, I want to be like Mr. Beast. I'm going to start doing the same thing. And they start creating the kind of stuff that kind of looks like his. And maybe aggregate, they start making some inroads. They start getting lots of subscribers. They start lots of views. They have the ability to start saying, you know what? We don't really have to depend on him from this kind of content. We can start streaming it over to some other. That's why people are wondering, why is my channel not getting the same views that we did before?
Okay? Brent, are you okay? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's not. No, Brent.
I just looked it up. Mr. Beast made about $20 CPM per 1,000
average.
Views. Average $4 to $10.
But his rate is higher, not because he's Mr. Beast. That's an algorithm change. I'm sorry, I could be wrong, but I'm
not saying it's because of he's just Mr. Beast with 300 million, whatever it is, subscribers. I'm not saying just because he's him. It's what he's done over the years and what he built over the years.
Look, these platforms are trying to keep eyeballs on the platform. If you keep eyeballs on the platform, they'll pay you. I'm not trying.
Can I add to that caveat?
Introduce.
Can I add to that just a caveat? They want to keep eyes on the platform and optimize the profitability of those eyes on the platform.
Yes.
That's all I'm talking about. And that's what they're able to do with this stuff. That's what I think they're doing.
All right.
By the way, Leland, where did you find that information? What platforms you use?
I know I was right. Damn it, shit.
AI overview came straight from Google.
Oh, that's why. No, you should have went directly to Perplexity. It would have been a better result. Yeah, that's probably why it's wrong.
Man,
I'm just messing with you.
I'm just thinking, to Brent's point, it's like, well, if they could lower Mr. Beast at $20 per CPM and then raise up Joe John from the Appalachian Mountains going in and getting coonskin hats
that
from
vermin
off the
eating
side
guy.
of the road,
Right.
who only has a couple hundred views.
Absolutely.
They're going to
Absolutely.
probably
They're gonna
do
do
that.
That, but they've been doing that forever.
That's just
Okay.
I'm not saying they weren't.
So, I mean, that is something that they've been doing. They didn't make some new thing up to like devalue Mr. Beast.
I guess what I'm saying is, now that they have so many people, hundreds of millions, if not billions of people creating on the platform, as opposed to like 10 years ago when there was X amount of people have always wanted the content, right? But they only had a fraction of the people that were actually creating it back in the day. Now they got almost like a 1-to-1 ratio. They don't need to pay that little fraction a huge amount anymore because they can spread it across all these other content creators. That's all I'm saying.
It's like the long tail.
Yes.
But they've always done that. I don't understand what changed.
What changes? It went from 5.
What you're listening to is people that are losing views.
right.
But I guess
They're
what I'm
trying to
saying is,
figure out why.
let's say that it's always been the game. Back in 2010, there was like 100 creators that was creating all this great content, and then all the people subscribed to those 10. Now there's 1.5 billion creators,
Yes.
creating all sorts of shit. They don't need to depend on these few folks and pay them this good God's amount of money. They can spread that across 1 billion people now. That's all I'm saying. It's the same thing. It's just that there's more people now.
Yeah, but you're acting as if they've done something to.
I'm using him as an example.
That's been their business model forever.
Yeah, but now it's
as the platform grew, more people got on there. They start driving traffic to more places. But they've always done that.
I'm not saying it's
something new.
It's new in the sense of the numbers that are going on. 20 years ago, there was not 1.5 billion creators creating all this shit.
But Brent, why are you so upset about this, Brent? What did you apply to the YouTube Awards? They rejected you or something?
I love YouTube. That's the thing I watch most. And guess what? I don't watch most TV anymore.
I mean,
I watch stuff that's not even professionally produced. The most stuff I watch is like reaction videos and shit like that.
I know what it is, Brent.
And that's the thing. Reaction videos are just not as hot as they used to.
Mr. Beast is having
there's so many people doing it.
And Brent was rejected from Mr. Beast's event, and he's pissed off. That's what it was, Brent. I think
you know what? I'll give you one Mr. Beast story and why I should be mad at him. He didn't know who the hell Prince was. That's enough for me.
Oh, wow.
You didn't know? I thought I told you about that. Anyway, we went way overboard. Wow. Any last thoughts by anyone before we call it a week?
Yes, be secure. Be secure. You lock your doors at night when you go to your home. You lock your car doors and you get you out of your car. On behalf of Bitdefender, small business security, bitdefender.com/Ramon, unashamedly live your life secure.
No genius talk plug?
Sure. Hey, everybody. My name is Ramon Ray. And since we have another hour.
No, we don't.
My mastermind called Genius
Talk. I got to get lunch.
Sold out for 3 times in a row. GeniusTalksMastermind.com. GeniusTalksMastermind.com. Anything else I should say, Brent, please?
Yeah, pass it to somebody else to say.
You know what? John, take the mic.
Awesome. Thank you for allowing me to come and hang out with you guys. As always, it's been wonderful. And have a great weekend, everybody. And we go to Pierre. He's been quiet.
That's because Ramon told him what to do, and then somebody else told him what to do. Like, damn, let the guy live.
I'll just say, have a good weekend. If anybody, I'll make my shameless plug. If anybody's in California, I'm going to be doing a workshop on analytics, 4 hours. Helps you to understand your data all the way up even to AI, and that's at the Marketing Analytics Summit. That is the April 27th through the 28th. So come check us out. If you're
that's not next month, next week. That's a week after next, isn't it?
Week after next week. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Who should go next? Pierre, come on, man. Who are you gonna pass it to? You got two options.
Even up. Go.
All right, don't got much to say that hadn't been said, but I will say, have a great weekend. Think about how you can make your customer happy today. Noticed a lot of people are like so wrapped up in AI, you're not thinking about your customer. Think about your customer first. Who hasn't gone? Leland.
I don't have a shameless plug. So have a good weekend. And, I'll get that, similar to even a little bit, find ways to kind of tweak your business to maybe even expand it just a little bit, adding in adjacent products or partnering with people, those kinds of things to just, if you're wanting to expand and grow, look for those little opportunities, the low-hanging fruit. Brent?
I hear low-hanging fruit goes great with varmint. You run off the.
It really helps with the gaminess.
You missed that part. I'm sorry. We'll have to explain it when we're off camera. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great weekend. It's already like summertime here in Atlanta. Like, we went right from like winter to 90 degrees. Damn, it's crazy down here. But enjoy the weekend, and we will see you next Friday. Take care.